Don't ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. Then you should talk to Jamie Foxx about that. And I think he's actually here, so you can.
Quentin Tarantino, the legendary director, is known for his unapologetic honesty when it comes to his artistic vision. Once an actor crosses him, that's it. They're permanently exiled from his cinematic universe. Tarantino's intense reactions stem from his total commitment to his craft. In fact, he gives everything to his films mentally, physically, and emotionally. Consequently, when performers don't match that dedication or dare to question his vision, he takes it personally. And there are 5 actors who he took it personally with. In this video, we'll reveal the price of challenging one of Hollywood's most uncompromising auteurs. Let's go. Number 5. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis became an unlikely addition to Tarantino's 1994 masterpiece, Pulp Fiction, through a series of interesting circumstances. Initially, Tarantino had no intention of casting the action star, instead envisioning a less mainstream actor for the role of boxer Butch Coolidge. Why did Tarantino dislike Bruce Willis? The primary tension between Tarantino and Willis stemmed from the actor's persistence in pursuing roles that weren't intended for him. During their first meeting at Harvey Keitel's home, Willis immediately expressed interest in playing Vincent Vega, a role Tarantino had already promised to John Travolta. Despite being informed that Travolta was locked in for Vincent, Willis wouldn't back down easily. His agent attempted to strengthen Willis's position by comparing the actor's recent box office performances, reportedly saying, "When your movie comes out, the last movie that Bruce Willis will have done will have grossed $300 million. The last movie the star of your movie, John Travolta, will have done will be Look Who's Talking 3. I'm just saying." This aggressive negotiation tactic undoubtedly rubbed Tarantino the wrong way. Furthermore, after being denied the Vincent role, Willis pivoted to requesting the part of Jules Winfield, a character explicitly written for a black actor. His suggestion that Jules could just be a hipster dude and that the dialogue was "the way me and my friends talk with each other" demonstrated a concerning disregard for Tarantino's creative vision. These initial interactions revealed a disconnect between Willis's Hollywood star mentality and Tarantino's fiercely independent filmmaking approach. While Willis was accustomed to getting leading roles through star power, Tarantino prioritized his creative vision above commercial considerations. The conflict extended beyond casting negotiations. According to industry insiders, Willis was reportedly unhappy about playing a secondary role, while John Travolta took the lead. One source noted Willis was particularly displeased about the idea of being tied up by a hillbilly in the notorious pawn shop scene, while Travolta got more screen time. Although Willis later diplomatically stated that it was never about the money for anyone, his initial reluctance to accept a supporting role reflected the ego clashes common among A-list actors working with auteur directors. Willis had allegedly developed a reputation for being difficult on set, a characteristic that would have clashed with Tarantino's energetic and intensive directing style. The tension was heightened by Harvey Weinstein's insistence on casting a major star to secure international financing. As Tarantino explained, "Once I got Bruce Willis, Harvey got his big movie star, and we were all good." This commercial pressure created a situation where Tarantino needed Willis more than he might have preferred. Another source of friction came from Tarantino's original intention to cast Matt Dillon as Butch. He had specifically written the role with Dillon in mind, and held true to his commitment until Dillon hesitated. Quentin was a man of his word, so he gave Matt the script, and he read it and said, "I love it. Let me sleep on it." Quentin then called me and said, "He's out. If he can't tell me face to face that he wants to be in the movie after he read the script, he's out." Having Willis as a second-choice replacement likely created initial resentment. Despite these early conflicts, The final outcome proved beneficial for both men. Willis eventually accepted the Butch role after Tarantino persuaded him to reconsider it. I would just ask you to read the script one more time with the idea of you playing Butch, and if you don't respond, you don't respond. After reconsidering, Willis responded with enthusiasm. The shortest sentence in the Bible is, Jesus wept. The shortest sentence in Hollywood is, I'm in, and I'm in. The success of their collaboration had significant implications. Rather than holding a grudge, Tarantino recognized Willis's contribution to making Pulp Fiction commercially viable. Bruce Willis made us legit. Reservoir Dogs did fantastic internationally, so everyone was waiting for my new movie. And then when it was my new movie with Bruce Willis, they went apeshit. Through Willis's star power, the Weinsteins recouped their $8.5 million investment before production even began by selling foreign rights for $11 million. This experience taught Tarantino valuable lessons about balancing artistic vision with commercial necessities. Subsequently, he became more strategic about casting established stars alongside lesser-known actors. His willingness to compromise on certain casting decisions while maintaining control over his script and direction became a hallmark of his later films. Interestingly, their working relationship didn't end with Pulp Fiction. In 1995, Tarantino appeared in Willis's segment of 4 Rooms titled The Man from Hollywood. Additionally, Tarantino has recently defended Willis's direct-to-video movies on his Video Archives podcast. I was really impressed by Bruce in these movies. I thought he was really charming in them. He's really fun. Furthermore, despite industry rumors about difficulties working with Willis, Tarantino allegedly expressed interest in having Willis make a cameo appearance in his final film, The Movie Critic. According to unconfirmed sources, Quentin hasn't approached Bruce's family yet and will completely bow to their wishes if they say he's too sick. This suggests that whatever initial tension existed between them had evolved into mutual respect. Through the Willis casting saga, Tarantino demonstrated both his stubbornness regarding creative decisions and his pragmatism about industry realities. Although their relationship began with conflict, it evolved into a mutually beneficial professional association that enhanced both careers, proving that sometimes the most challenging collaborations yield the most memorable results. Quentin Tarantino is known for his wild stories, bold filmmaking, and even bolder opinions. But did you know there are some actors he just can't stand? And we're not talking about small disagreements. We're talking full-blown feuds, harsh words, and never working with you again energy. So who are the unlucky stars on his bad side? And what did they do to end up there? Stick around to the end, because number 1 will have you saying, wait, he hated them? Number 4, David Carradine. The cult status of David Carradine in martial arts cinema made him an unexpected choice for Tarantino's Kill Bill villain. Behind the scenes, however, their relationship was more complex than it initially appeared to fans. Contrary to popular belief, David Carradine was nowhere near Tarantino's first choice to play the titular character Bill. In fact, Tarantino had a completely different vision for the character while writing the script. Speaking to BBC in 2003, Tarantino confirmed that he originally wanted Warren Beatty to play the part. This preference wasn't casual. Tarantino had specifically crafted the character with Beatty in mind, envisioning Bill as more of a James Bond-type character. After Beatty didn't work out, Tarantino didn't immediately turn to Carradine. Instead, he embarked on a prolonged casting search, approaching numerous high-profile actors. The role of Bill was reportedly offered to Jack Nicholson, Kurt Russell, Mickey Rourke, Burt Reynolds, and Kevin Costner. All these actors passed on the opportunity. Costner, in particular, turned down the role to direct and star in the Western Open Range. This extensive search indicates Tarantino's clear hesitation about casting Carradine, seeing him perhaps as a last resort rather than an ideal choice. Moreover, Tarantino's original plan for Bill differed significantly from what eventually made it to screen. He initially wanted Bill to appear only at the end of the movie, like Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now, suggesting a more mysterious and imposing presence than what Carradine ultimately portrayed. Given these points, Tarantino's selection of Carradine came across as settling for an available option rather than an enthusiastic first choice. As Carradine himself revealed, Quentin had been writing for me all the time while he was making a deal with Warren, indicating that Tarantino maintained parallel casting plans simultaneously. Throughout filming, Tarantino demonstrated a pattern of indecision and last-minute changes that created tension with Carradine. The actor revealed the challenging nature of working with Tarantino's ever-evolving vision. That whole final monologue changed, like 5 times. The last time it changed was the day that I came in to do it. I had the whole thing committed to memory, and he just threw it out the window and started over. This unpredictable approach forced Carradine to constantly adapt, creating a stressful working environment. Furthermore, Tarantino's restructuring of the film from one 200-page script into 2 volumes led to significant creative conflicts. A prime example was the cut fight scene between Carradine and Michael Jai White. According to Carradine, it was supposed to happen in a poker game originally, but then Quentin wrote another scene that he thought superseded that, and he didn't think that he could have both scenes. The scene was written and choreographed for months, yet Tarantino ultimately cut it before shooting. Nevertheless, Tarantino still insisted on bringing Michael Jai White to Beijing just to film the fight, only to abandon the footage entirely. This wasteful approach to production demonstrated Tarantino's disregard for the time and effort invested by his actors. In essence, the development of Bill's character revealed fundamental disagreements between director and actor. Carradine noted that Quentin kept opening me up to just be there. It was not a constructed performance. This instruction contradicted Carradine's established acting method. Quentin got me out of what I've done my whole career, which is to construct a character. This fundamental clash in approach created an underlying tension throughout production. Complicating matters further, the original concept of keeping Bill mysterious was repeatedly altered. There was one point where there was a close-up of me at the end of the first movie. Then, Tarantino took that back out and thought, I'm going to keep this a complete mystery. These continual reversals in creative direction left Carradine uncertain about his performance and character development. In spite of these tensions, the unexpected success of Carradine's portrayal transformed Tarantino's approach to casting decisions. David Carradine's performance as Bill became so iconic that it's hard to believe that he almost didn't play the part and wasn't even the first choice for the role. His portrayal exuded empathy and manipulation, making him a masterful villain in ways that surprised even Tarantino. What sets Carradine's portrayal apart is how he successfully translates a surprising level of empathy despite being the textbook definition of a monster. This nuanced performance demonstrated this warm, almost paternal kindness he exudes throughout the film that continually seduces the bride up until the very end of the film. Such depth proved that Tarantino's original casting instincts were misguided. The experience with Carradine taught Tarantino valuable lessons about looking beyond mainstream stars. Prior to this, Tarantino had primarily worked with established Hollywood names or carefully selected newcomers. Following Kill Bill, however, he became more willing to cast actors who had fallen from the Hollywood A-list, recognizing the untapped talent that remained. As one industry observer noted, Tarantino is the patron saint of the journeyman actor, a comic book-loving, utterly original movie director who brings dead acting careers back to life. Tarantino rescued John Travolta with Pulp Fiction, Pam Grier and Robert Forster with Jackie Brown, and now does the same for Carradine, Michael Madsen, and Daryl Hannah in Kill Bill. This pattern became a defining characteristic of Tarantino's later casting approach. Primarily, the experience challenged Tarantino's preconceptions about star power versus authentic performance. Carradine's portrayal demonstrated that lived experience could trump technical acting ability. His real-life martial arts background and decades of genre work brought authenticity that A-listers couldn't replicate. As Carradine explained, "I always knew that all it would take was for the right director to put me in a movie." The casting also reflected a growing confidence in Tarantino's directorial identity. Rather than relying on established stars to validate his vision, he began trusting his instincts about which actors could best embody his characters, regardless of their current industry status. Interestingly, their relationship was transformed by the experience. Tarantino had spent years researching Carradine before casting him. He had read my autobiography, Endless Highway, and he was thinking of writing a character based on me. The pair would meet occasionally over the next 6 years with Tarantino, unbeknown to Carradine, using these meetings as extra material for the creation of the character who would be Bill. This deep investment in understanding Carradine's persona allowed Tarantino to craft a role that would showcase the actor's strengths. Following Kill Bill, Tarantino maintained his admiration for Carradine's performance. The director observed that Bill's character was like Quentin thinks I am. He's literate, he's funny, he's charming, he's a badass. This acknowledgement demonstrated how their working relationship had evolved from initial reluctance to mutual respect. Number 3. Michael Madsen. Ironically, Michael Madsen appears on this list despite being one of Tarantino's most frequent collaborators, appearing in 5 of the director's 9 films. Yet beneath this productive partnership lay creative tensions and professional challenges that complicated their relationship. Tarantino's frustrations with Madsen emerged primarily during the filming of Reservoir Dogs, where Madsen's personal discomfort with violence clashed with the director's uncompromising vision. Notably, Madsen struggled significantly with filming the infamous torture scene where his character, Mr. Blonde, tortures a police officer. His strong-willed stance against violence made him reluctant to perform the scene as written. The tension intensified when Kirk Baltz, who played the tortured officer, improvised a line about having a child. This ad-lib hit Madsen particularly hard, as he had just become a father himself. The emotional impact almost prevented him from completing the scene altogether. For a director as meticulous as Tarantino, such hesitation potentially threatened his artistic vision. Furthermore, Madsen's career choices occasionally frustrated Tarantino. In a striking example, Madsen rejected a role in Pulp Fiction that Tarantino had specifically envisioned for him. Instead of accepting what would become one of cinema's most iconic films, Madsen opted to appear in Wyatt Earp, a film that ultimately flopped at the box office. This disappointment didn't end there. As revealed in a 2019 documentary, Madsen turned down yet another Tarantino offer, this time for From Dusk Till Dawn, simply stating, "I'm not a big vampire person." Such rejections from an actor Tarantino clearly favored undoubtedly strained their professional relationship. Beyond casting disappointments, production challenges created additional friction. The development of a potential Vega Brothers film featuring Madsen alongside John Travolta remained stuck in development hell for years. As both actors aged, the project became increasingly unlikely, representing a creative opportunity lost to time, a particular frustration for Tarantino, who had invested in the concept. Yet, amidst these tensions, a pivotal moment during Reservoir Dogs' filming revealed the complex nature of their relationship. As a first-time director, Tarantino faced a significant challenge with veteran actor Lawrence Tierney, who played crime boss Joe Cabot. Tierney proved completely insane and an effing nightmare on set. The situation reached breaking point when Tierney disrespected Tarantino publicly. Taking a bold stance, Tarantino fired Tierney at the breakfast table, a decision that could have derailed his directorial debut and career. That night, Madsen left a supportive voicemail for Tarantino. "Just calling to say that I really respected what you did tonight. It was important and needed to be done. I respect it as a director. I respect it as a captain. And I respect it as a man." This message revealed the underlying respect between them, even amidst creative differences. Interestingly, their relationship faced external obstacles as well. In a revealing interview before his death, Madsen disclosed that producer Harvey Weinstein harbored an intense dislike for him, stating bluntly, "Harvey never liked me. I don't know if he ever liked anybody, but I know for a fact he didn't like me." This antipathy manifested in Weinstein's attempts to block Madsen from appearing in Tarantino's films. The most telling evidence of Tarantino's true feelings toward Madsen emerges in how he repeatedly defended the actor against Weinstein's opposition. According to Madsen himself, Tarantino consistently advocated for him. "I think I'm only in them because Quentin stood up for me every single time and said, 'I'm going to use Michael whether you like it or not.'" This steadfast support explains why Madsen appeared in 5 Tarantino films spanning nearly 3 decades. Reservoir Dogs, 1992, as Vic Vega, Mr. Blonde; Kill Bill, Vol. 2, 2004; The Hateful Eight, 2015; Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019, and Tarantino's self-portrayal in Reservoir Dogs as Mr. Brown alongside Madsen. After Madsen's death in July 2025 at age 67, Tarantino's actions spoke volumes about their relationship. He hosted a private memorial at his Vista Theater, delivering a heartfelt tribute that referenced their early collaboration on Reservoir Dogs. This gesture demonstrated the depth of their professional bond. The Madsen-Tarantino partnership significantly influenced Tarantino's approach to casting. Through Madsen, Tarantino discovered the value of working with actors who understood his creative vision, regardless of studio preferences. This led him to repeatedly cast performers based on artistic compatibility rather than commercial appeal, a pattern evident throughout his filmography. In essence, whatever creative tensions existed between Tarantino and Madsen ultimately proved productive rather than destructive. Their collaboration yielded some of cinema's most memorable characters and scenes. Perhaps the true testament to their relationship is found in Madsen's lasting impact on Tarantino's directorial legacy, creating calm and yet intense characters that helped Tarantino define his character bigger, better, and bolder for his future projects. He's one of the most creative minds in Hollywood, but also one of the pettiest. Quentin Tarantino doesn't hold back when he doesn't like someone, and he's made it very clear which actors rubbed him the wrong way. Was it ego, a bad audition, or just pure personality clash? You're about to find out who made his hate list, and trust me, the reasons are just as wild as his movies. Don't skip a second, because the last name on this list? It's a shocker. Number 2. Jennifer Lawrence. Unlike the other names on this list, Jennifer Lawrence stands out as the only actress who never actually worked with Tarantino, yet twice came tantalizingly close to joining his cinematic universe. As an Oscar winner and one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, Lawrence's absence from Tarantino's filmography represents fascinating what-if scenarios in modern cinema. While dislike might overstate Tarantino's feelings toward Lawrence, his casting decisions reveal clear professional reservations. For The Hateful Eight, Tarantino initially envisioned the character of Daisy Domergue as younger, with Lawrence in mind. Yet even after meeting with her to discuss the role, Tarantino harbored doubts about her suitability. Once Lawrence became unavailable due to commitments to Joy and Hunger Games publicity obligations, Tarantino's reaction was telling. Instead of expressing disappointment, he admitted, "Having said that, I'm glad I didn't cast somebody that young. I think I absolutely positively made the right choice as far as the ages of the characters." This statement reveals his artistic preference shifted away from Lawrence's youthful energy toward Jennifer Jason Leigh's more seasoned presence. His second opportunity to cast Lawrence came during pre-production of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he considered her for the role of Squeaky Fromm. Despite inviting her to his home to read the script, a significant gesture considering Tarantino's notorious script security, something mysterious prevented the collaboration. As Tarantino cryptically noted, she was interested in doing it, but something didn't work out. The pattern became clear. Tarantino publicly praised Lawrence while consistently choosing alternative actresses. This contradiction suggests professional respect coupled with artistic incompatibility. The subtlety of their professional friction emerges in Tarantino's recounting of their meetings. For The Hateful Eight, Tarantino described their discussion as merely a courtesy on Lawrence's part, implying she never seriously considered the role. This characterization contrasts with how eagerly other actors pursue Tarantino projects, essentially framing Lawrence as somewhat dismissive of the opportunity. Interestingly, their second meeting revealed another layer of professional disconnect. After reading the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood script at Tarantino's home, Lawrence's primary contribution wasn't enthusiasm for the project, but rather a casting suggestion. "Can I just make a recommendation for somebody to cast? You know that agent guy that talks to Rick at the beginning? Why don't you cast Mark Maron for that?" This response potentially frustrated Tarantino, who typically receives effusive praise for his scripts. Lawrence's practical suggestion, rather than artistic enthusiasm, might have seemed inadequate to a director who values passionate commitment to his vision. Additionally, industry speculation suggests the failed collaborations might relate to creative differences. As one publication noted, Lawrence has worked with David O. Russell, who is notoriously tyrannical and reportedly outright abusive. He is nevertheless known for his close collaboration with the actors and for encouraging them to improvise or bring something new. Tarantino, on the other hand, famously treats his script like scripture. This fundamental difference in preferred working styles likely contributed to their creative impasse. The Lawrence casting saga influenced Tarantino's subsequent approach to female roles. After reconsidering Daisy Domergue's age, Tarantino cast Jennifer Jason Leigh, then 53, a decisive move against Hollywood's youth obsession. Similarly, after Lawrence didn't work out for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino cast Dakota Fanning, enthusiastically noting, "I couldn't be happier with what Dakota Fanning did. It's one of the best performances in the movie. I think she's amazing as Squeaky Fromm. She becomes her." These experiences reinforced Tarantino's commitment to casting based on artistic vision rather than commercial appeal. Despite Lawrence's box office power when he considered her for both roles, Tarantino prioritized performance authenticity over star power. Nonetheless, Tarantino maintained public admiration for Lawrence's talents, comparing her to screen legend Bette Davis. I think she could end up being another little Betty Davis if she keeps on going the way she's going. This professional respect, coupled with his casting decisions, demonstrates Tarantino's complex relationship with Lawrence, admiring her talent from afar, while recognizing their artistic incompatibility. The Lawrence casting episodes ultimately strengthened Tarantino's resolve to maintain complete creative control over his projects, even when faced with the opportunity to work with one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. For a director known for resurrecting careers, the decision to pass on Lawrence twice emphasizes his unwavering commitment to his unique cinematic vision. Tarantino has made some of the coolest movies in Hollywood, but behind the scenes, things weren't always so chill. Some actors just didn't sit right with him, and let's just say, he made sure everyone knew it. But who made the biggest mistakes? Who got on his nerves so badly, he swore them off forever? Watch till the end, because this list proves that when Quentin doesn't like you, there's no coming back. Number 1. Jamie Foxx. Among all the actors who faced Tarantino's infamous directorial intensity, Jamie Foxx stands out for candidly describing his Django Unchained director as a tyrant on The Howard Stern Show. Yet surprisingly, Foxx meant this as high praise, immediately adding, "But that's what you want. You want a director who, even if you're going off the cliff, you know that you're going off the fucking cliff." The central tension between Tarantino and Foxx emerged from their first rehearsal when Foxx approached Django with too much celebrity swagger. Tarantino immediately shut down production for a private conversation, delivering a blunt reality check. Closes the door. What the fuck is that?" I said. "What you mean?" He said, "I knew I was going to have this problem. Listen, all of this shit you have to be a fucking slave, okay? He's a slave." Tarantino continued his tirade, targeting Foxx's celebrity status directly. "You come in with your fucking Lewis bag and your fucking Range Rover and you're just, you're not Jim Brown. He's a fucking slave." This confrontation highlighted a fundamental difference in their approach. Foxx arriving with his Oscar winner confidence versus Tarantino's uncompromising vision for authenticity. Beyond the initial clash, their working relationship remained professionally challenging throughout filming. Tarantino demanded Foxx abandon everything he had worked for in his career, including his identity as a Grammy-winning musician and Oscar-winning actor. As Foxx explained, "I've worked all my life to get to where I am as Jamie Foxx, and now," he says, "you're not there." This directive to completely surrender his hard-earned status certainly created tension. Their professional relationship faced another awkward moment at the 2016 Golden Globes, when, after Tarantino left the stage following his win, Foxx returned to the microphone and simply said, "Ghetto," before introducing his daughter as Miss Golden Globe. Many viewers interpreted this as a subtle critique of Tarantino's word choices in his films. Certainly, the most surprising aspect of the Foxx-Tarantino relationship is how strongly Foxx publicly defended the director throughout the years. When Django Unchained faced criticism for its extensive use of racial slurs, Foxx consistently supported Tarantino's artistic choices, explaining, "I understood the text. The N-word was said 100 times, but I understood the text. That's the way it was back in that time." Indeed, Foxx went even further at the 2015 Hollywood Film Awards, taking the stage to introduce the cast of Tarantino's Hateful Eight with the supportive message, "Keep telling the truth, and don't worry about none of the haters." Throughout the controversial Django press tour, Foxx compared Tarantino to other white artists who successfully adopted black traditions. "You can't tell me that Eminem ain't hot 'cause he's white, or that Elvis Presley isn't a bad mother effer, or that Quentin Tarantino can't do whatever he likes, 'cause damn straight he can." When asked if he would work with Tarantino again, Fox responded without hesitation, 1,000 times. With this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. To enjoy more thrilling stories, click now on the following video that pops up on your screen.